There's only one man who can save Pyramid Man. And that man's name is Jeff Davis.
Hello, everybody.
Welcome back, Jeff.
Hello. Welcome back to me. Welcome back to
We're kind of playing with the show format here. I didn't want Brandon to go away. Jeff's back. Spencer's still gone. Thoughts and prayers.
Thoughts and prayers.
I will say, certainly, if he's going through anything, it's not affecting his work. I've seen four animatics of Harmon Quest.
Oh,
very good season, probably best season ever. Looking forward to that. Maybe he's content to just focus on that.
And I'm here.
Yeah. Who needs Spencer? Who needs anybody?
we need Spencer.
I've been up all night. So I'll probably fall asleep tonight, but been working, and so I'm a little out of it.
What are you working on?
A screenplay that was due a million years ago, and just finishing it up. Just about finished.
This is for Aquaman 3, right?
It's in that area.
Dr. Stranger. Who knows?
I was thinking
Who's strange?
I was thinking about Green Arrow today.
Dr. Stranger. Is he called Green Arrow because he's new at it?
Green Arrow.
Well, I'm not the best arrow guy here. I'm still new. I'm a little.
Look here. You're going to need to get your uniform before you start talking to management. You knew Green Arrow. It may be a different arrow, but you knew Green Arrow.
Green Lantern? I thought you were on my side.
Just because we green don't mean we are green.
Green Arrow and...
Is this helping?
Yeah.
Is this helping?
Green Arrow and Green Lantern they were partnered up in a series of comic books that were critically acclaimed. I can't imagine why. I feel like maybe it was because people liked watching the Green Lantern feel awkward. Because it's like, dude, you just... What is your origin story? You played Peter Pan in high school and hit your head? He just shoots dumb arrows. That's all he does. Perhaps my boxing glove arrow will punch this up a bit. Perhaps my screwdriver arrow will turn things around. Okay, none of that works. Perhaps my exploding arrow will blow you up. Just use your exploding arrow every time, Green Arrow. Don't waste your time making all these arrows. What do you do? Just budget your time.
You're not getting them back.
Yeah, I mean, just once you...
You're not getting them back. You shoot him, and what's he going to do? Is like, hey, guys, wait a second. Before you jump into the car and drive back, I got to go pick up my fucking arrows. Otherwise, I'm not equipped.
I'm not a comic book guy. Does he conjure them up, or does he actually fabricate them for the purpose?
He tinkers. He's like part tinkerer, part archer. I
Call
believe
him
it's
that.
like he makes his arrows in a workshop.
Right.
Is anybody a Green Arrow aficionado? That
like Batman with arrows.
Right. So he is, right. Is he a meta-human?
No. He's just
Oh, really? See, that's kind of interesting because how many other non-meta humans are there? Like, not a lot, right?
At least two. So does he have a Green Arrow car?
Yes.
What is it called?
It's like the
Datsun.
Aeromobile or something. The Rick and Morty staff were kind of like very delicately vandalizing the Green Arrow Wikipedia one season. They kept adding really, because we're trying to see how long can the shit just seep into canon, because you really don't know. The shit gets ridiculous because Green Arrow's been around forever. There was a run of Green Arrow where his sidekick Speedy had a heroin addiction. You wouldn't be able to tell like at a glance.
Why did Speedy have a heroin addiction?
Yeah. You think he
I would
would?
think he would have
think?
like a meth addiction.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's meta.
But there was this whole thing. I remember. So we went too far at one point, and we got busted. Like they
Did they come to your house and go,
Nah.
hey,
Some Green Arrow fan like expunged the whole thing, and it was like it was slowly building. There was like this whole like thing about this like really meticulous grievance between Green Arrow and someone else. Like that and part of it was he thought that it started with the Green Arrow mobile and how he thought that this person had scratched it and wouldn't admit it. And then that was like threaded into like different like Infinite Crisis and whatever, and kind of like this like long-standing grudge with this other DC character that he was convinced had scratched his car. Yeah, I mean, essentially, Dan, you're telling me a story about something that was funny once. It's not really going to be funny again. I understand. I haven't slept in a while.
So you've been doing some DC research.
Yeah.
DC research. I'm trying to push them together. But, okay, so Green...
Yeah, I learned all about Red Tornado today.
D-search.
D-search. So Green Lantern's weakness is anything made yellow? Is that...
Purple?
Yellow?
I don't. Well,
Isn't
it goes through different things. Like
Like yield signs?
It used to be wood. He couldn't affect wood.
It doesn't affect mine.
So if you were like, so you could.
Hello.
But yeah, there's some stuff with the yellow.
Yeah.
But it's more about like the yellow lantern energy or something like that. Green Lantern is such a turnoff to me. I can't. I think I like what the Lego DC stuff does with the Green Lantern powers, because
Whatevs. You're not going to get any smiles out of me.
I guess because it's kind of like for kids, and then it's like through the Lego filter, it's sort of like makes a character whose power is just to like make up random shit. Like they can contain it within these like translucent green blocks and whatever. But just that idea of like, oh, I'm going to use my imagination to make a green baseball glove. I'm like, so dumb.
Isn't it cheating?
Kill yourself.
If you're I've never seen any of the Lego films, but the whole point of Lego is that it's stationary blocks of shit that you stick together, but then their mouths are moving and their faces are moving and they're doing all this shit that breaks the Lego rule, right? Yeah, they should be a little blocky, stiff, like, you know.
Well, they are in the.
Yeah, but their faces are all fucking all over the joint, like, you know.
Well, it'd be kind of a boring movie if there wasn't lip sync.
Yes. So don't make it out of Lego. Make it out of anything else.
All right. They should have did that. They would have been famous.
Here's a pitch. The Play-Doh movie.
Oh,
you can make whatever you want out of Play-Doh.
How about the Playmobil movie that's coming out?
How about, have you seen the DC Universe's Lincoln Log movie coming out? It's all made out of logs.
I'd watch that, Dan.
Stupid.
All right, we're getting into bad
I remember a guy
territory
from
for me.
Hot Wheels or Mattel or something like that was like touring the studio, the animation studio, and they were like, "Yeah, if you guys can think of anything to do with Hot Wheels, that'd be cool." And you know, it's tough because you can't just put like a face on the front of the car, because Pixar did that. It's like the toy is like a car, but you know, and there's no driver. Fuck. Yeah, it was like watching a guy realize Hot Wheels is a shitty property.
You don't. Here's something. You don't have to make a movie out of everything.
Well,
you don't. No one's gonna go.
But he's got to make a movie out of Hot Wheels, or he's fucking fired.
No, somebody's not gonna go. Okay, we just did zebras. All right, there's a movie for everything now. We can close up shop, Hollywood. There's a movie for everything.
I was just attached to the new Connect 4 movie. I play Blue.
Oh man, you are. It is so. Man, you're
We
making
did. We
fun
had like
of
a
it.
dalliance with the Plato movie. The Plato people wanted to. They got.
We made a joke of it on Community.
I know, and then we were talking to the Plato people,
And Paul Feig's supposed to be directing it.
I was really excited about our
I love
idea.
your grumpy.
What?
I just love how grumpy. Paul Feig's supposed to be directing now.
Like we are orbiting an issue of mine, so let's maybe change the subject, or I should stop
Wait, were you-
drinking
were you
because I'm
pa-
going to
Rob-
unload a little bit.
Rob, were you passed over for the Plato movie?
I don't want to talk about any of this anymore.
Not yet. We'll wait, we'll wait.
It's going to get me
At
into
9.
trouble. I'm starting to put my life back.
Keep
together.
drinking. We'll bring it back up at 9:30.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
So Green Arrow. Yeah.
One fan.
Just use your exploding arrows. Green Arrow. I know if he were here, he would say, "Well, just use exploding arrows." Well, why don't I just buy a gun? Well, don't pull that
like a
thread,
cop?
Green Arrow.
Like a police officer?
Yeah.
Like a
Green
hired
gun.
Yeah.
Yeah, just keep shooting.
No one
Use
asked
only
you.
bullet arrows.
How about have the bow and arrow and have a gun
Just as a standby.
or
yeah.
a taser?
Or study philosophy and just,
Get out of the hero game.
Yeah, get out of it.
It's an ugly game.
Just be your best you.
And why are you wearing a fucking mask, man? You're walking around like Robin Hood with the beard. I mean, who does?
Yeah, no one cares who
Wearing
you
a
are,
mask,
Green
they're
Arrow.
like, oh my gosh, who's this, Carl?
Why does Aquaman have a beard? I keep going to hotels. I'm on the road a lot. And
There's always an Aquaman in my bedroom.
No.
Why is this happening to me?
Rob, you're not wrong there because you turn the TV on and what do you get? The first thing you fucking get, you turn your TV on.
Sexy men.
No, you get Mario Lopez. You get a Mario Lopez on there. Hey, everybody, I'm Mario Lopez. I'm here to talk to you about movies in your hotel room, like Aquaman. And they talk about Aquaman for 30 minutes. And why did a beard underwater doesn't seem functional? It
Well,
seems
it
like
worked for Poseidon.
Yeah,
yeah, but
Oh, now you're going to go, well, you're
I'm just saying, name a fast-moving aquatic animal that has hair.
A seal, an elephant seal.
Yeah, but very little. They don't have a giant.
They have a huge mustache like a walrus.
Yeah.
Whales have teeth that are very much like a hairbrush.
Yeah, but they're inside their mouth.
You asked us to name an animal.
All right. No, I know that there are mammals that have hair
He's
underwater.
not a fish man, is he? I don't know.
He's
Is
a
he
fish man.
He's the king of Atlantis.
He's the king of Atlantis. Give
I'm
him a
just
break. He
saying.
didn't want to shave. They don't have razors
But he
down
does
there.
shave because he shaves the part of his hair around the Van Dyke goatee kind of thing. Like he clearly is like beardscaping around it. So he cares about like appearances.
Okay, you
Yeah,
want
I
to
don't
know?
think-
You want to know why? Terrible acne scars.
Oh,
Awful.
Oh,
They're
shit.
the worst.
For
Yeah.
real? Okay.
Terrible acne
I
scars.
take it back, Mario
Yeah.
Lopez. Oh, you mean Aquaman?
Yeah. it's-
Okay.
It would be cool if he was just naked. Like, if his gimmick, I think that would be the way to, after all these attempts to like, we got to find the angle on Aquaman because obviously in the 70s it became this joke. Like that was we fell in love with this idea that there was a super friend that, given his roster of powers, like obviously the other heroes would probably make fun of him, and that kind of like stuck. And then they tried to like beef up Aquaman in the comic books to work against that, or to make him like dark and depressed and
They
alienated.
cut off his arm.
But I do think now that I think of it, the way to do it would be to make him like a naked. That he would be like, let him be Jason Momoa, but then just have the running thing be like, he doesn't know what clothes are. He knows what they are. He's not stupid, but he's like, I'm not wearing
you know
those.
who could help him out with that? Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
That sounds like a strange thing to do.
Do you think
Hey.
Do you think that we're stuck
Hey,
with
Aquaman.
these dudes?
Hey, Aquaman. You know what would be strange? And this is what I do. I do this. You know what would be strange, Aquaman? I'm crossing. I can't do that, right?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Okay. I won't do it.
Both companies
What?
will be
You
owned by
better finish
Disney.
this.
DC and Marvel. Okay, Doctor Strange goes, hey, take off your clothes. That's strange. Now,
All
put
right.
him over here by mine.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Do you think that because of the time period that these characters were first created were stuck in those archetypes? Like, do you think that if this had been, it's a crazy, but let's say we started doing DC and Marvel even 15 years later, would we have built these superheroes different?
No, just cosmetically. I mean, to the extent that they have any kind of shelf life, one would hope that was because of an organic kind of thing that made us, we like certain characters because of archetypal behaviors, like relationships with their gadgets, not the actual design of the gadgets. Like if Tony Stark is sort of kind of and Batman, I think, are both kind of parallel in that both of them, people, if they like them, what they like is the idea that you're not exceptional, you're not gifted in any way, except maybe your intelligence or whatever, but you're not supernaturally gifted, and then you use your means and your will and your grit to like take a place among the gods, and you're even bossing them around and stuff, like you're Captain Kirk or something.
The genre sort of pays attention to the time that it's in.
Yeah, I mean that stuff's easy to change along the way, unless people are like, Peter Parker's white. But we're living in that time right now where we're like, what is it? Captain Marvel might have been a woman if that's among the many what I would call cosmetic things that should be now. If things like that aren't going to be up for debate, then retire the whole library of all these characters, because they were all white, they were all men, and like every once in a while we would go like, Harlem Man is here, and it's like, well, good for us, I guess, in 1971, but like just like acting like because Harlem Man exists that Peter Parker can't become biracial in a reboot is like kind of dumb, right? Like, because it's like that's asking us to like that's a disservice to the entire Marvel library, the DC library, to go, because it's just a fact, it's just a cultural fact that everybody in a comic book like looked a certain way back then, which is now not a definition of something that's like real life.
Because it seems like
all men is Wonder Woman.
Say what? Sorry.
I said they're not all men as well.
Oh yeah, I didn't mean to imply. I mean.
Are you just gonna shit on Catwoman? my mama, Catwoman.
I mean,
Yeah, but
what's happening?
please, you sounded like you were. Hey, do you remember me? I'm Louise from Brisbane.
Oh, Louise from Brisbane.
The ghost of the Sydney Opera House.
Well, there were a lot of people there. It's a whole opera house.
Of all time, yeah, do you remember?
Is the mic picking this up at all, or?
Okay. Jeff,
Yes.
Oh.
in Australia, at the Sydney Opera House,
Correct, yes.
you're giving shit to all Australians. You're saying, people from Ipswich are like this, people from Brisbane like this. I think you're all crazy. And I said, hey, you elected Trump. And it brought the whole house down, and you did like a 180, and you walked back, and you came back. And then
Is this fucking true, Jeff? You did?
Did you vote for Trump? You voted for Trump. Did
what's he
you
saying, true,
vote
Jeff?
for Trump?
I can't believe this. I cannot believe this, Jeff.
Are you telling me you interrupted a show and started like talking to people on stage?
No,
I don't believe you. I don't believe you.
I remember you now, because you last time you were sitting audience right, stage left, and you came down and bummed everybody out from that side. Now you're doing it from that side. So sit your ass down, because you were dragged the other time too. I do remember you now.
Are you sure she's the same one, though?
Yes, yes, exactly.
The same.
Because that was
one?
my thought too. Was like, oh my god, I'm having a fucking flashback
you don't get to just charge the stage because you want to. You did it last time from over here at the Sydney Opera House, and you came down and you were shouted down by the crowd.
Who's one charge? How do you charge
Oh,
when you're
no.
in a wheelchair?
There's
you
two.
asshole?
Okay, you guys got to sit down.
All right,
that's
for
not
real.
I don't think that's the same person. Is it?
It's exactly her. I remember it vividly now. Thank
Okay.
you. You were just a voice in the darkness, but now I've seen you visibly. I mean, I appreciate your thoughts, and it's okay to pipe in, but you don't get to just like storm the Bastille like that.
Well, I don't appreciate your thoughts. Because obviously, if I'm in the middle of addressing the issue of whether or not it's okay for Peter Parker to be biracial, and the way I express the backdrop of my point is to say that everybody in comic books was a white man in 1930, it's not helpful or accurate to bother to go, what about Wonder Woman? No, that's not the point. Of course, I don't mean everything, all the time, absolute everything. I'm like painting with these strokes to make a point about the movement of these things. Like the idea that I forgot Wonder Woman while trying to move toward wokeness is infuriating.
No.
God, I fucking remember this so much. She was standing because it was a very raked theater, so it was very steep seating, and she came down over here and she did the exact same thing, but right there in my left eye, and now it's on my right eye, and I say.
It was so. I mean, my memory of it was that it was like very punctuated in Australia because they were much more like, they're probably like, they were just very quick to be like.
I was on stage.
No.
You don't have a microphone. You don't have a microphone.
For real, just like have security take that out.
Is it?
That's the cool thing because it seems as though it seems like these comic books and these universes are like music in that you're allowed to reinterpret them if you do a good job, right? So if you do like a remix of a very classic song, it seems like people are psyched about that. Is that the same with like superhero movies? We can make Superman have a different trait now.
I don't know. I mean, well, it's like okay, so I mean, people have a shit hemorrhage if you like. Fuck with like Superman's canonical list of abilities, right? So if you make him like not bulletproof just because that'll be more fun, I think that's fucked up, if that's what you're saying.
I just don't, he always had heat vision and he's always had the ability to blow cold.
But, in the very beginning, I don't think he could actually just fly. That's sort of like how Homer Simpson starts to look like more like the Homer Simpson we know from the Tracy Ullman show. Like characters that could fly often start as characters that can leap tall buildings. And like then the leaping just kind of turns into flying over time. But I think that for my money, the way to modernize Superman is to start from is not to worry about like whether or not he can do this or can do that. Start from the point of assumption that he can do everything, and then ask yourself, in a modern context, what does that mean to us? Like how would we react to that person, and how would he react to being perceived that way, and what would his goals be? My thing with Superman is like who cares about kryptonite when in fact he has like this much more crippling weakness, which is that he doesn't want to be a bad person. Like that's way more fucked up than kryptonite. Like he if the police tell him to get down on his knees and put his hands behind his head, he technically has to. I mean, unless he wants to be a criminal that day, or like he's privileged in the sense that the cops probably won't say it because they don't want to die, but he probably won't kill him. So like those are fun stories where it's like, oh, Superman's he's a criminal because he's like questioning this congressman or whatever. But like it seems to me like that's the way to go.
Did you ever read J.J. Abrams' Superman script, Flyby? Did you ever read it? Mm-mm. It was he didn't use kryptonite either. But what he did was he said Superman didn't need kryptonite because he was raised by humans, and his mother and his adopted mother and father were saying, don't run as fast as you can. Don't show people how strong you really are. Always do less than don't reach your potential, because if you ever do, they'll take you away from us, or they'll dissect you, or you'll be a monster.
Yeah.
Which
is growing up in the Midwest.
Yeah, exactly. But that was very interesting because
sublimate your powers.
It was about a Superman who was like, I don't know how fast I really can go. I might be able to go as faster than anything ever. I might be able to lift anything. He has no idea. So that I thought was very interesting.
Yeah, and also psychologically, if you had let's say you had an inborn sense of morality, although it's a dangerous
Done.
concept. Like the idea of like, let's say you came from a different species, and let's say somehow that species through either genetic or mimetic evolution was like had kind of like a benchmark morality to them, where like you start from a baseline of like, yeah, don't be a piece of shit, like, and then you're transplanted to a savage planet where you're then raised by parents who are telling you, yeah, you're special, so, but be careful, don't flash those powers because they'll take you away. So you're motivated by not being taken away. And then on top of that, you're also being reinforced the whole time with this, like, you'll never be tempted, unlike a sort of wish fulfillment thing where you're like, well, wait a minute, if I did use these powers and stopped giving a shit what everyone else thinks, I could be rich or I could be successful. But there's a loop there possibly with Superman where he doesn't want to be rich or a rock star or successful. He only wants the one thing, which is actually quite difficult for him to achieve, which is a sense of belonging. He doesn't, because he knows he's essentially deformed. He doesn't have, he's like, he can't, if he's not careful, he could karate chop your head off while he's like passing the salt. And so he's like embarrassed about that, is even though we would go, well, there's nothing to be embarrassed about because you should just use that to like either rob banks or stop people from robbing banks. But,
See, I would love to see that as him in high school, and he says, are you going to eat those Doritos, and accidentally knock somebody's heads off, and then he just like moves away. He just like
moves.
I guess I got to go to a different high school again because I can't explain what's going on. I'm just like, hey, how you doing? Yes, I'm the new student Smart Schment, and I'm going to be
Schmark Schment.
Smart Schment.
Yeah.
Is this helping?
Yeah.
I like that his powers make him a loser, not super.
Yeah.
It's kind of an interesting take.
Yeah, so he's the opposite of kung fu. He just kills people by accident,
Whoops.
and has to leave town every episode.
Oh, God damn it. It's always like there's always some kind of thing that he takes care of, and then he's like, well, it's great. A handshake. Oh, Jesus. Oh, okay. Gotta move again. Gotta go.